What is going on, everyone? TJ here with Daily Grind Fantasy Sports. I hope you guys all had a fantastic Sunday. I hope you guys made so much money today. But in this video, we're going to be building out a slip from one of the two Monday Night Football games tomorrow night. We have the Eagles and the Bucks. We also have the Rams and the Bengals. So what we're going to do here is pull up the correlation tool here at DGF. I'm going to take the highest rated correlation slip off the tool. Not sure what app it's going to be on. It's going to be random. I haven't refreshed. And we're going to go ahead and build out a slip on that app. Talk about why this is a fantastic slip. But before we jump into that slip, if you guys haven't yet, please go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on that notification bell so whenever we do go live or post content, you get notified first. And of course, if you guys could, please go ahead and smash that like button. All right, guys, but enough of that. Let's go ahead, jump on in to the slip for one of tomorrow night's Monday Night Football game. Let's go ahead and check out the correlation tool right now. All right, guys, so the Steelers and Raiders game actually just concluded. And what do you know? We hit another 20 times over on Underdog Fantasy directly from the correlation tool. This is the fourth or maybe fifth different correlated slip that populated off of the correlation tool today that is cashed. We had some really good correlation, as you guys can see. We had George Pickens, Devontae Adams, both over receiving yards. We had both quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett and Jimmy Garoppolo, over passing yards. And then to cap it off, we had Jacoby Myers over receiving yards. This actually cast like 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so this was an absolutely no sweat bet, 20 times over on Underdog. We had a ton of success. This was my second personal UD slip that I was able to cash today. I also hit on, where are you? There we are. We had a really nice correlated stack here between the Chargers and the Vikings, as you guys can see. So we had some really good success over on Prizepicks as well. Just a ton of success here utilizing the correlation tool here at DGF. And you guys can publicly track all of these slips here on this graph that we have. It tracks every single slip that does get sent out through the correlation tool, that first slip for that specific game. So you guys are more than welcome to track it, even if you aren't a user of the correlation tool. If not, I would highly suggest looking into getting it. This hasn't updated from tonight's game, but that plus 143.6 units is from 818 when we first came out with the tool, when we just had soccer. Now we have NFL. We have college football. We have some more sports coming here on the horizon. And again, that's probably going to be somewhere around plus 160 units, I would say. We had a couple slips on parlay play, Prizepicks, Jock Market, etc. But that 20 times over on UD did smash. If you guys want to get signed up for the correlation tool, you can go to DGFantasy.com, hit pricing, and then you can go to the correlation subscription, and you guys can get started today. But as I promised, I am going to give away one correlated slip for tomorrow night's Monday Night Football game, one of the two. And I told you we were going to go straight from the top. So it looks like it's going to be an Underdog Fantasy slip. Looks like this is actually the highest correlation score as well. And again, the highest profit margin. We're going to be chasing that 20 times over on Underdog Fantasy. So guys, this is going to be the slip. So here we are, guys. We have the Underdog Fantasy slip for the Bucks and Eagles game tomorrow night. We got Baker Mayfield over 226.5 passing yards. We're going to be pairing that with Jalen Hurts over 238.5 passing yards. We got A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith both over receiving yards. A.J. Brown at 67.5. We got Devonta Smith over 61.5. And then to tie this off, we have Mike Evans over 52.5 receiving yards. So guys, that is a really good correlated slip. We're going to run through this and kind of talk about it right now. When it comes to positive correlation on some of these DFS apps, or just in general, positive correlation just means outcomes that are more likely to happen together. So if we have Baker Mayfield, for instance, if he's going to go out and throw for 226.5 plus passing yards, that obviously means that receivers, tight ends on his team are going to benefit from those passing yards. So it would make sense for us to come back with his number one wide receiver being Mike Evans. Baker Mayfield's going to go throw for a bunch of yards. Mike Evans most likely is going to be targeted a lot and have a lot of opportunities to get receiving yards. So that's where we start. We're going to go here. We're going to type in Baker Mayfield over passing yards. We're going to bring that back with Mike Evans over receiving yards. We're going to back to correlation tool. So it looks like this actually got bumped up a couple yards. Baker at 228.5. That's still okay to take. Looks like some people have been already entering slips from the correlation tool for tomorrow night. And then on the flip side, right, if Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are having a good offensive game, that means Jalen Hurts and the Eagles are going to have to try to play catch-up. Now, I guess we can look at it from the flip side because the Eagles are actually slight favorites in this game. So if the Eagles are having a good offensive game, Jalen Hurts is throwing all over the Bucs secondary. That obviously means that A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, his two most targeted wide receivers, are going to benefit from Jalen Hurts throwing a lot of passing yards. And then on the flip side, if that's happening, we know Baker Mayfield, the Bucs, are going to have to keep up with the Eagles. That means Baker's going to have to throw, which means that Mike Evans is going to get more opportunities to have receiving yards. So here, we're going to add in Jalen Hurts over 237.5 passing yards. Actually went down, so we're getting a little bit of a better number. We're going to add in A.J. Brown over 67.5 receiving yards, and we're going to add in Devonta Smith over 62.5 receiving yards. So again, a little fluctuation here with the passing yards and receiving yards. As long as it's not a crazy bump, this is still a really good play, a very highly correlated slip, and some very good positive correlation here directly off of the correlation tool here at DGF. I'm going to go ahead and enter that slip right here. We're going to keep it $50. And we got that entered. Guys, again, it's going to be Baker Mayfield over 228.5 passing yards, Mike Evans over 53.5 receiving yards, Jalen Hurts over 237.5 passing yards, A.J. Brown over 67.5 receiving yards, and Devonta Smith over 62.5 receiving yards. So all in all, in this Bucs and Eagles game, we want a lot of points. We want a lot of offense. Preferably, we probably want the Bucs to actually go up here, Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans early. And then that forces Jalen Hurts to not be able to use his legs as much. And that means he's going to have to be throwing the ball to play keep up. And what does that mean? Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, more opportunities to make plays and get receiving yards. And guys, the reason we want to be entering these correlated plays and slips over on these DFS apps are because they don't shift your payout. If I were to enter that slip that I just entered on Underdog over on a sports book, they would take into consideration that I'm positively correlating and game stacking one specific game, and they would alter my payout. Or better yet, they might not even let you enter that slip at all. As you guys can see on DraftKings, I just took those 5 plays that we just entered in our Underdog slip, and we're not even allowed to place this bet over on DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, if we head over to Prizepicks, for the example right now that I want to run through, if I take Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield, which is positive correlation if I'm taking both of their overs, you'll see that my payout for a two-man power is always going to be 3 times. It is 3 times in this specific slip. If I change Baker Mayfield's over to an under, I'm still going to see that 3 times payout. So these DFS apps allow you, in some cases, to actually correlate your slips. Being able to positively correlate your plays, your slips together on these DFS apps is a huge, huge, huge way to become a profitable sports bettor. You want to be positively correlating slips as much as you possibly can. Again, creating slips where outcomes are more likely to happen together are just going to increase your opportunity to make money. And when it comes to the correlation tool here at DGF, you guys are going to see a ton of slips throughout the week, and especially the weekend when we have college football, soccer, and NFL going all at once. You guys want to be entering as many slips as you possibly can, but also make sure when you are entering slips off the correlation tool that you are managing your bankroll properly. Please do not put more than 1% on any of these slips that do pop up on the correlation tool if you are a correlation tool user. But yeah, guys, volume is king in plus EV betting, as you know. So as many of these slips as you can possibly get in, make sure you do so. That is going to go ahead and wrap up the video for Monday Night Football, guys. Again, we have the Bucs and the Eagles, and that slip, for anybody that might have missed it, I don't know if you missed it, I don't know how you possibly could have, but it's going to be Mike Evans over 53.5 receiving yards. We're pairing that with Baker Mayfield over 228.5 passing yards. We're going to come back with Jalen Hurts over 237.5 passing yards, and then pairing it with his 2 stud wide receivers, A.J. Brown over 67.5 receiving yards, Devonta Smith over 62.5 receiving yards. We're hoping for a lot of points and a lot of offense here in this Bucs and Eagles Monday Night Football game. Guys, if you are going to be tailing, please go ahead, smash that like button. If you already haven't, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And as always, turn on that notification bell so whenever we do go live or post content, you get notified first. I'll catch you guys later, and let's cash this Monday Night Football slip out.